Assalamu alaikum. With the last speaker discouraging us to make dams, I'm afraid that will take some time. But I am going to talk to you about this nationwide effort to make people conscious of the necessity of dams. You will have noticed that if you turn on the TV, if you look at your newspapers, there's always talk about dams, dams, dams. How did this happen? Can you hear me? Yes. This issue started at least a nationwide effort to make this dams, the contributions for the dams. I was asked on several TV programs as to, are we really going to make dams by contributions? Now the idea is, of course, not that we will make dams by contribution. I'm very happy that General Muzammal, the WAPDA chairman, explained how financing for these dams is being done. But it has mobilized the nation, something very necessary. For this business of building dams should have happened 34 years ago. A country with 100,000 megawatt of hydroelectric potential should not have been suffering from power shortages and load shedding for decades. But first, a little bit about my presentation at the Supreme Court. At a diplomatic reception in June, in the 26th of June, Azam Khan, the interim interior minister, asked me that there was danger to the Federation, and the situation of dams in Pakistan must be explained. The necessity of dams and the lack of necessity of dams and why they were not built must be explained to the Chief Justice. So I made a presentation there on the 27th of June. But before giving you details of what I presented over there, I would like to talk to you about the power sector in Pakistan, water power sector in Pakistan, and what has been happening since the inception of WAPDA in 1958. I belong to that small group of engineers which in Karachi, with Mr. Ghulam Farooq, set up the power development section in the Pakistan Industrial Development Corporation, PIDC. There was very little power in Pakistan at that time. The total country had less than 100 megawatts. 100 megawatt today, one sector of Islamabad cannot be fed with. We knew in Pakistan, we knew very well that the Indus Basin has a tremendous water power potential. And that is why the WAPDA Act stated that the comprehensive and multi-purpose development of the water power resources of Pakistan, the Water and Power Development Authority should be set up. To start with, in 58, unlike which has happened recently, we have built power stations and no transmission systems. We started first with making transmission systems way back in 1958. And we made these transmission lines connecting the north and south of the country, culminating in a national grid which connected Warsak with Karachi and Sialkot with Quetta. Ghulam Farooq, this great gentleman, genius, I would say, a person who has done more for Pakistan than anybody I can think of after the Qaeda-e-Azam. He moved us to Lahore on the 1st January 1959, where our staffing and activities and started to increase, including completing the 240 megawatt Warsak hydroelectric power station. Soon, the planning and investigation department of WAPDA started. The WAPDA chairman has talked about the various departments, but the most important department was the planning and investigation wing of WAPDA, which was headed by a very top-class engineer, Mr. Munawar Ali Shah, to identify hydroelectric projects and to start work on their feasibility studies. This was the beginning of hydroelectric development in Pakistan. The early WAPDA projects included the countrywide 132 kV and 220 kV transmission system, the Varsak 240 megawatt completed in 1940, Mangla 800 megawatts completed in 1968, Tarbela almost 3,000 megawatts completed in 1976. There were also some thermal power projects in Sakar, Gurdu, Quetta, etc., as well as small hydel power stations, 20 megawatt each, on the canals in the Punjab, in Nandipur, Shadiwal, Chichakumalyam. A state-of-the-art telecommunication and control system was also installed, which won international acclaim in SIGRE, Paris, and the Institution of Electrical Engineers, London. Then there was the Indus Basin Treaty, about which you've heard a great deal. I remember in the Shalimar Gardens, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, the Prime Minister of India, smiling very happily at this reception. In my first job in WAPDA was setting up this elite telecommunication and control department. But I got seriously involved in enhancing WAPDA's capabilities and striving to accelerate hydroelectric development. As is well known, hydroelectricity is the cheapest and cleanest and also indigenous form of energy. Dams provide essential water storage, of which we are so short. The important thing that I want to bring into your attention is that between 1968 and 1976, WAPDA, the Water and Power Development Authority, the country's biggest development organization, completed $3.5 billion worth of projects. Now, $3.5 billion, ladies and gentlemen, at that time, you can easily multiply by 100 or 200 today. And these projects were on time and within budget. And as General Muzammal had pointed out to you, Mangla was done before time, and we paid, because we were so keen to have Mangla completed before time. Even Tarbela was completed before its scheduled time, but Mangla, we paid the contractor $1 million a day extra to bring forward its completion date. Now I talk about a very important conference, a landmark event in furthering the country's water power development, was the high-level 1975 conference on the role of hydroelectric resources in the development of Pakistan. This was chaired by the Minister of Water and Power. The WAPDA chairman and members were there. The concerned federal secretaries were there, and we had 200 engineers attending this particular function. At that function, something very significant happened. My keynote paper, which stated that we should immediately, now that Varsak was being completed, I'm talking about 1975, Varsak is nearly, Tarbela is nearly being completed, we should go for 2 major dams on the Indus. Not 1, 2 major dams on the Indus, and we should start planning for it right away. My other suggestion was that we should, how do we select, we know there are many projects on the Indus, how do we select these projects? And for that, I suggested that we should have a ranking study done by a reputable foreign consulting company. I got this approved by the Prime Minister, and this was in 75 and 76, December, I got this approved by the Prime Minister when I prepared a national development program for him. Unfortunately, a few months later, his government was taken over in a coup by General Zia, and that, ladies and gentlemen, was the end of all development in Pakistan and the beginning of some dark periods for the country. Not only did this ranking study, although the ranking study had become a part of government policy, so between 1981 and 1984, at a cost of about $4.5 million. Montreal Engineering Company, a very well-known consulting engineering company from Canada, conducted these feasibility studies on the sites on the Indus. They ranked Basha as the number 1 project, Dasu as the number 2 projects, and then followed by 8, the total number of projects they selected were 8, followed by Bunji, Thakot, Patan, Yugo, Yulgo, Tungus, which the WAPDA chairman today has mentioned to you. I have been constantly striving since 1975 for accelerating hydroelectric development. I have published over 60 articles on this subject in all the important newspapers, have been speaking at important conferences, seminars, many TV appearances, as well as discussions at the highest level of government. Then, in 1994, I got a call from Mr. Shahid Hassan that they were now coming up with this national power policy. And he said, the Prime Minister requests that you present a critique. Now, ladies and gentlemen, one of the most damaging things that has happened to Pakistan is this private independent power producer business. The terms that were given at this conference, I spoke, and Mr. Shahid Hassan was all for saying what a wonderful thing it was. People were giving us, coming to Pakistan and putting up power stations. But at what cost, I said? At the same time that Pakistan was offering 6.75 cents per kilowatt hour, in Bangladesh and Egypt, the same power was being given by the independent power producers at no more than 2 or 3 cents. There happened to be American consultants over there. And I said, this company that is now being offered 6.75 cents, plus so many pass-through items and 17% guaranteed rate of return and all that, in their own country, they were selling at 5 cents a unit, and now they have come down to 3.5 cents. In America, 3.5 cents is a very small amount of money, but in Pakistan, even 3.5 cents. So Shahid Hassan said, sir, what shall we do? I said, then you should go for hydroelectric. Do not go for these thermal power projects. So if we, what about hub? I said, hub is an advanced stage, so okay, we will have one power station, thermal, that's about 1,000 megawatts, but the rest should all be hydro. You will not believe this, but he promised. And I said, what guarantee do I have that you will carry on with it? He said, what do you want? I said, what about a program, a national program on national TV, in which you guarantee this? So there was this program on the TV, Sartar Aziz, the Secretary of Water and Power, Shahid Hassan, and myself, we were there. And he promised that our total program will be hydro. But unfortunately, that is the problem that started in Ziaul Haq's time. When WAPDA chairman was, we had very good chairman from the beginning. We had Ghulam Farooq, we had Ghulam Ishaq, we had Ghulam Eji and Qazi, and so on. But then we have this retired General Fazl Razak, and he started corruption in Pakistan. And how did we do this? He said, they are not letting me build Kalabagh Dam, so we have to build thermal power stations. It is not for that reason that he was doing that. The other reason he gave was that hydropower stations take a long time to build. Of course they do, but you have to start them sometime. So he started this business of thermal power projects. Thermal power projects, the very day that you issue the letter of intent for thermal power project, you get kickbacks. These projects that I mentioned to you, the $3.5 billion that we had completed earlier, we were very fortunate that none of us had any Swiss accounts or Panama companies. In 1991, I was appointed member of the Planning Commission's Energy Working Group. At the Planning Commission seminar on the 8th plan, on 28 January 1991 to 1st January 1992, I presented a hydroelectric development program with 34 major hydroelectric projects. This program in the year 2000 was taken up by WAPDA and expanded and made into what is called WAPDA's Vision 2025. It is on this program that WAPDA has been working and should have been working, and it has been working, but working too slowly. I'm very happy that General Muzammil now told us that things have speeded up, but for the last 4 decades, not much has been happening in WAPDA. Even with the slow work, we have in our hand today 87 hydroelectric projects, out of which a dozen of them are mega projects, which means they are over 2,000 megawatts each. The refined feasibility and engineering and tender documents of Basha Dam project were finalized in December 2005. The WAPDA chairman gave an explanation of the objections to being seismic. All projects in Pakistan, whether it's Basha or Kalabagh, are in seismic zones. The important thing is that the design of Basha has been done to the Richter scale of 9, and there's never been an earthquake to that scale. We could have started Basha, the construction of the Basha Dam project, early in 2006, because it was also very easy for us, since now we were at that time the most non-NATO allied of the United States, and the United States really needed our help. We could have funds available for building this Basha Dam project. But unfortunately, there is a lobby in Pakistan which is called Kalabagh Only Lobby. This lobby says we want to build nothing except Kalabagh. And this is one of the major reasons that for the last 30, 40 years, we have built no dams. The Kalabagh lobby prevailed on General Musharraf, and no work did start on Basha in 2006 or 2007. You will remember that even after President Zardari took over, he said Basha is going to be our top priority, and there was also an opening ceremony. Then Nawaz Sharif came along, and he also said that Basha is going to be our top priority, and another opening ceremony took place. It's only in the year much later, in the beginning of this year, I think March or April, in these various seminars, I have been pressing for what I'm telling you, that these dams must be built. We have to build this. We need storage. We need, we have total of, at the present time, 87 projects. Out of this, if we do these projects, we can get 65,000 megawatts and 53.61 million acre feet of water. So I have been pressing this at all kinds of bids, and I was finally succeeded with the last government. That my last meeting with Hassan Iqbal, I think was in March or April, he said we are allocating money for Basha, for Dasu, and for Mamad. And they have allocated 122 billion in their budget that they made. Climate change can only be ignored at our peril. Dams and hydropower projects for water storage, flood mitigation, and most importantly, cheap and clean electricity cannot be delayed any further. We must give up this addiction to thermal power stations, particularly coal. The coal power station at Saigawal is really a terrible thing to have happened. Some details of this 100,000 megawatt hydro potential may be relevant. As I said, there are 12 very large projects. There are Basha, 4,500 megawatts, Dasu, 4,320 megawatts, Bunji, 7,100 megawatts, Patan, 3,600 megawatt, Thakot, 2,800 megawatt, Yulbo, 2,800 megawatts, Kalabagh, 3,600 megawatts, Tungas, 2,100 megawatts, Dudnial, 1,960 megawatt, and so on. Only one project is controversial, and there are also other projects, of course, in the 500 megawatt range, totaling to another 7,000 megawatts. These two groups total 51,000 megawatts. But this is not the limit, as I said, 65,000 megawatts with the work that has been done in the PPIB, KP, and Azad Kashmir projects. Finally, we come to my aforementioned presentation to the Chief Justice. The petition before the Chief Justice was for Kalabagh, was almost, the Chief Justice was almost convinced that we should go ahead with Kalabagh. The Kalabagh only lobby is very strong. They ignore the concerns of the other provinces. They consider that they are doing this for the Punjab, but ignoring that Pakistan is a federation. As opposing other dams, they have damaged Punjab the most because its size, Punjab's size and the highest demand for electricity. Because there was not cheap hydroelectricity, the Punjab's industry suffered colossal damages to the labor and to the industry in the Punjab. Fortunately, my friend Etizaz Ehsan had explained to the Chief Justice that the three federating units had very cogent reasons for opposing Kalabagh. The federation could not be jeopardized for it. So when I spoke to him, what did I do? I explained to him that the work undertaken for the water power development in Wabda, I mentioned this 1975 high-level conference that I mentioned to you. I explained that we had 87 hydel projects. He asked me, are they all controversial? I said, no, only one is, Kalabagh. Then he said, why were the others not built? I said, Mr. Chief Justice, there are only two reasons. The Kalabagh only lobby and corruptions. As I explained, the thermal power projects give you immediately kickback. I explained to him that this business of Kalabagh or not Kalabagh, or Basha or not Basha, is this is something we engineers have created. So he said, what did you do about that? I said, I pleaded with my colleagues not to insist only on Kalabagh. Let us make the other projects, and then maybe at a different time, in a different way, Kalabagh can also be built. No, they said, Kalabagh or nothing. So 40 years, ladies and gentlemen, which nobody talks about over here, for 40 years we have not built any dams because of the Kalabagh only lobby would not allow us. They said no other project. So he said, one of my friends and colleagues, Javed Akhtar, we were together in Wabda and he died last year. His son is now a judge of the Supreme Court. So he was sitting over there. So he said, did you go to Javed Akhtar? Do you know Javed Akhtar? I said, yes, do I know him? He's a very close friend and a colleague of mine. He said, did you go to him? I said, yes, I did. What did he say? I said, he said exactly the same. We will only build Kalabagh and nothing else. Then I explained to him the necessity of the advantages of Basha, the dam project, the Daimir Basha dam project, and the Dasu project, and Mamman project. And this is how, on the 28th June, the Chief Justice came in favor of Basha and Mamman dams and started collecting funds for their construction. It is also very good augury that the Prime Minister has also joined in. We have the government has started another, apart from what the chairman has told you, I think he has told you some of the project, but the government is planning to construct now 19 dams for the efficient water management to give you 30 million acre feet of water. I won't go into the next part of the thing. Normally people ask, where will the money come from, Basha? The WAPDA chairman, General Muzammal, explained that very well. So I won't go into that. I thank you.